I don't know why I decided to go live today, if I'm being totally honest, but I've got all these presentation decks, all this training material, all these keynotes, and I'm like, they're not doing anyone any good sitting in my laptop. So, what if I got on and started talking about some of them for a little bit? So I had this initial thought, maybe I'd share a slide or three or six or whatever from each of these talks. And maybe that's what I'll do, but I need to develop some kind of cadence. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. seem like a good time for me. The spam guy seems to think it's a good time to call. So must be a good time, right? Why else would you pick up the phone and spam me at 10 a.m. if it's not a good time? So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to talk a little bit about referrals, mostly because I truly believe they're the lifeblood of business. I think more people could get better at earning them, more people could get better at asking for them, and certainly and potentially most important, more people could get better at describing what kind of referrals are right for them. So that's what we're going to cover. I don't think it's going to take too long. I don't intend to be on here 15 minutes from now, but I'm going to hang out for a little bit just because maybe somebody pops in and asks a question. Maybe somebody pops in and says, "Hey, way to go." I don't know if I'll even see the question, but I'll come back and get to it. And that'll work out really well. So let's start with this idea of referrals, right? I said earlier, referrals are the lifeblood of your business. Here's the challenge: most people wait. They expect people just magically give them out without asking for them, without positioning themselves in a way that they're willing and eager to receive them. And they also wait in terms of telling people how they're going to handle them. And you can't do that. You have to give people a sense of this is what's going to happen. This is the process. This is how we're going to intake them. This is what we're going to do with them once we have them. We're going to follow up. We're going to take excellent care of the people you refer. We actually give a darn, and we're going to make it a great experience for them. Listen, if a referral doesn't help the referred, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, potentially, the reason you're not getting referrals is you haven't done a great job asking for them. You haven't done a great job taking care of them. You haven't done a great job following up with them. And these are all things that need to change, frankly, and they need to change now. So let's kind of talk a little bit about a system on how to get them and what that looks like. So, step one, and I'm going to actually read this quote because I think it's a good quote. Uh, you earn your success based on service to others, not at the expense of others. And that came from H. Jackson Brown. And there's a slide in one of the decks I use for referrals, and it's got a pretty picture with that quotation right on it. And I like it because the word earn is in it, right? We have to earn referrals first and foremost. So the best way to earn a referral is to do a great job for somebody. If you do, and you let them know that you're open to receiving referrals, you're more likely to get them. I'll tell you a story. Ian Pruckner is a gentleman I've known for 14 years or so. He started coming to Motor City Connect as a Primerica rep who was pretty much brand new to the business. He'd been in it for about a year. If you fast forward a decade, Ian became the fastest person in the history of Primerica to earn $1 million a year. He did it in just under 10 years, and he did it through referrals. And I remember sitting with Ian in his office one day after telling him numerous times, if you mention the words life insurance or Primerica to me, our meeting is over. We went to lunch before me coming to his office. I said, I promise I'll get up, I'll walk out, I'll leave you with the bill and everything. I don't want to talk about that stuff, but I want to get to know you because you interest me. And so he was cool about it. We had a great lunch. He's been a tremendous inspiration to thousands upon thousands of people around the globe in that Primerica business, and people outside of it, of course. And when I was sitting with him talking about my life insurance needs, because he earned that opportunity after doing what he said he would do, he asked me for referrals. But Ian didn't just say, who do you know that needs insurance, right? Who do you know that I could help with life insurance? Ian was meticulous, he was specific, and I can assure you that he was consistent in how he did this with everybody. He actually categorized the people in my network for me. He asked me about school teachers. He asked me about coworkers. He asked me about people that I played sports with, right? And he asked for 2 or 3 names in each of those categories. So by the time we were done having a conversation, Ian had the potential of 10 new people that he could go out and talk to. I mean, and granted, I know a lot of people, so it's a little easier for me to say, yeah, 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 check, 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 check. But just the idea of being so comfortable and so confident in asking for it, and being so specific and so direct in asking for it, increases the number of referrals that you're going to get. Yes, step one, earn them, right? Do what you said you would do. To me, that's the very definition of integrity. If you don't do what you said you were going to do with me, why the heck would I trust you to do it with someone I'm going to refer you to? Can't, won't, don't, whatever. But he did. So I gave him some names. I don't know how it turned out, but I'm sure it turned out okay for him, because I know from over the years, he's like, you have no idea how many people I've met and connected to as a result of knowing you. And it's probable that that's true for quite a few folks. And I like that part. So he had a system, and his system was getting into my head by categorically asking for people specifically that fell into this bucket or that bucket or this bucket. And what I really like about it is he set up the idea that he was going to ask for them, right? So I tell my clients all the time, the referral, most people look at it as an afterthought. The sale's complete, it's done, we've already delivered the product or the service, we're hoping for a good review and maybe a referral. What I tell my clients is, as you're in the sales process, as you're telling them the work that you're going to do to earn their business, you let them know that there's going to be a point at the tail end of it when you come back and ask them for a referral. So you have to set it up early on, right? You got to give them the idea that it's coming. And you want them to actually think about 2 or 3 people that are in a position similar to theirs, or has a need at least similar to theirs, that you can solve. Again, if you don't position it, if you don't put it out there, it's not going to work. You're not going to get the referral you seek. So let people know in advance that it's coming. Hey, Mr. Customer, thank you for meeting with me today. I wanted to lay out our sales process for you. I'm going to come in, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. We're going to learn about your business. We're going to learn about your unique challenges and the problems you face. We're going to talk about how my solution can handle that, can help you be better at X, Y, or Z. And then we're going to come to an agreement as to whether or not we want to move forward, right? That's the whole upfront contract idea from Sandler Sales Institute, right? Tell people what you expect to happen and get their agreement that it's going to go down that way, right? So if you let people know this is the sales process, and so at some point in that sales process, you're going to agree, we're going to do business. If I deliver on everything I say I'm going to do and you're happy, it would really help my business and my company and my ability to keep serving you if you could refer me to 3 people that do X, Y, or Z. I can't tell you what X, Y, or Z is without having a conversation. And if you want to have a conversation about it, you're invited. find me. Let's talk about that. How do we position you to get more referrals? That's an excellent topic. We could talk for an hour. I could have an entire referral plan for you in that hour, and you could grow your business on autopilot. You probably wouldn't like that though, right? You want to keep dialing and keep sending those cold emails because if you can send them through LinkedIn, those work really well. So you tell people straight away that that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to come back after everything's said and done. And you have to sell it like you expect it to happen, to the point where you're doing them a service by helping their clients, by helping their friends, by helping their family members, right? And if you're really good at what you do and your service is needed, you probably are helping them. So the mindset has to be of service, right? I am here to help you look better. I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, I don't need you to screw up my reputation. I can do that on my own, right? I need you to help me look better, right? Maybe some of you are like that too. So that's kind of the situation. If you don't ask for them, you're not going to get them. If you don't earn them, you're not going to get them. And then here's the big caveat. If you don't tell us specifically who the right person or right company is that you can serve, you're going to end up wasting a lot of time with a bunch of garbage referrals. One of the things that people say in networking events that makes me quiver, right, is literally the reason I wrote a book on networking was all the folks during their introduction, their 60-second commercial, their elevator pitch, call it what you want, talking about, I work with anybody or everybody. And anytime that word comes out, anybody, everybody, anyone, someone, whatever the case may be, anytime we're not specific about who we're looking for, we run the risk of attracting lousy referrals. I tell people this all the time. I want you to think about getting referrals like fishing. If you're a casual fisher person, you don't really care. You're going to go throw a line out there, and if something bites, you reel it in and you're super excited. If you're a professional fisher person, you are going to be intentional about where you're going to park the boat, what type of fish you're going after, what type of lure or bait you're going to use to get that fish to bite. You're going to have the right tensile strength on your line. You're going to have the right reel and the whole thing. I don't know a lot about fishing, but you're going to be really specific about what you're going after. Why? Because some fish taste like shit. You don't want to catch every single type of fish. It's the same thing with referrals. I'm not saying you should eat your referrals, so I'm not saying the taste is the same. But what I am saying is if you're asking for anyone or everyone, you're going to spend a lot of time qualifying people that if you would have taken the time up front to be specific about who you're looking for, you wouldn't have that issue. You'd only be being connected to people that are a great fit. Yes, it's counterintuitive to be in a room of 25 people and to ask for the vice president of sales and marketing at Credential Check, for lack of a better company off the top of my head, when you could be asking for every vice president of sales and marketing in the Detroit metropolitan area, right? But the more specific you get, the more likely you are to get somebody that matches that, because we know people in different categories and from different aspects of life. So, for instance, let's say I'm on a bowling team and I hang out with my 3 little bowling buddies, and we bowl with 4 other people every week, and we see the same people every week. And I may know John, who's on bowling team Y, And I may know John well enough to know that John is in the employment world some way, somehow, and that he works in Troy and that he does background checks and that he's in sales. And I may think, holy crap, John may be the exact person that works at Credential Check. Maybe I'll ask him next time I see him on Tuesday evening. So it's a matter of positioning this stuff in a way that's actually going to resonate with people. But it doesn't happen when you're like, oh, I'm looking for anybody or everybody, because anybody and everybody shuts our minds down. Think of it this way. When you're asking for a referral, and you remember the game Go Fish, you're basically playing Go Fish. Do you have any threes? Right? Do you have any VPs of sales of marketing and VP of sales and marketing at Credential Check? Because what we want to do is we want people to go and flip through their mental Rolodex, right? Inside their brain, they have all the contacts, well, most of the contacts they've ever met, and they can kind of rifle through them and say, yes, I got this one. But when you say anybody or everybody, the flipping stops. They can't process it. And no matter how much they like you, love you, care about you, want you to succeed, there's no chance they're introducing you to everybody they know. So, takeaways. Number one, you have to earn the referral. Number two, you have to ask for the referral. You got to let us know who you're looking for, what you're looking for. You got to tell us that there's a little bit of a process as to how you're going to handle it. And you got to be as specific and clear as to what you're looking for as humanly possible. If you're looking for more help on referrals, why don't you hop on over to trybean.com, trybean.com. You can take a look at some of the blog posts I've written. You could actually order the book I wrote on networking that talks a lot about how to get more referrals, or better yet, you can schedule a time with me and we can chat about your specific needs. I'm Terry Bean of Try Bean LLC, and I'll look forward to speaking with you when I do. Thanks for paying attention. Have a great day.